Hello, fans of Student Filmmakers Magazine. My name is Michael Goi. I'm a director and cinematographer, and I am happy to share with you some tips on directing that I've learned in my experiences. Well, famous actors are actors first and foremost. They come to give a compelling performance. They want to understand what you're looking for as the director. Famous actors are famous for a reason, is because they are just impeccable in their craft. They do research on their characters. They understand the nuance of what's going on in the scene and how to portray it. And I've never met an actor, famous or not, who did not want to be directed, who was not open to input. And there are actors who will challenge you, and that challenge is good because it means that they're thinking about the character possibly at a deeper level than you are. So famous actors, I know that there's this apprehension about possibly directing Lady Gaga or directing Gary Oldman, and I will tell you, all of my experiences directing actors who are considered famous or very well known has been really a joy and really pleasurable, because you can really focus on the craft with them at a level that maybe a neophyte actor who's just trying to make everybody happy but is not as committed to the character as another actor would be. It's different experiences. So famous actors, I've always found, especially the ones that challenge my perception of the character, I've always found to be the most gratifying experiences for me. Directing actors effectively and helping them understand where they're at in terms of their character and their motivation really depends on you as the director understanding what their motivation is and why they are going through what they're going through in that moment of time, in that scene. A really good actor will ask you questions about why they're doing this, or why they're saying particularly this, or how do you see them saying this, because they're trying to find the nuance in the performance. It's not just what an actor says that indicates how they're thinking. It's really in their facial expressions and in the subtle hints that they're giving the audience about how they actually feel that are important and are the crust of the character. So it's so many times I've worked with the directors as a cinematographer. I've shot for hundreds of directors, and I see where they fell down in terms of their communication with the actors, because they were looking at the scene just in a surface way, in terms of the motivations, in terms of the emotions, and the actor is always trying to find something deeper, something that maybe alludes to what the character went through 2 seasons ago on a television show, but also something deeper in terms of how they can connect the dots with their own life, with their own personality, to give that performance a little more resonance. So you as the director have to be sensitive to that in the midst of all the chaos that's going on in production, in the midst of the cinematographer asking you, can you shoot this way instead of that way? In the midst of the ADs saying, how long is it going to take the scene? Do you have to get this much coverage? You have to be able to still focus on what that actor is telling you, because they may not tell you directly, hey, I have a problem with this or whatever. They may say, do you want it this way? Are you sure you want it this way? And stuff like that. You have to be sensitive to the idea that they're trying to feel their way to a deeper performance. Most of the really, really good actors that I've worked with, I would say come completely open and vulnerable. It's a really vulnerable position for them to be in, because they're exposing themselves in a highly emotional way. And sometimes I'll run into an actor who needs help, getting there. And actually, I directed one actress in a television show who I had known previously because I photographed her in a show. And it was a very emotional scene for her, and she said, you know, I can't get there, Michael. I can't get there. I don't feel it. It's not kind of connecting for me. I need help. And knowing her and knowing her personality and having that relationship with her tremendously helped me in that instance. And I started just gently prodding her, you know, when we're just about to roll, when the camera is rolling, there's that tension now because the camera is rolling, and she's supposed to burst into the room and be incredibly upset because she's found the person responsible for the death of her family and stuff. And she's all prepping herself up, and I said, "Are you ready? Are you ready?" And she said, "Yeah, I'm ready." And I said, "I don't think so. I don't think you're ready." She said, "No, I'm ready." I said, "Nah, I don't see that you're ready." She's like, "I'm ready. I'm freaking ready." You know, no. So I just kept prodding her, and finally she pushed me and she burst into the room, and she had this high level of anxiety and frustration and stuff, and just delivered an amazing performance. So, you know, being able to play on her and know what would frustrate her in that moment and raise her level of, you know, anxiety was just a tremendous amount of fun. And then the actors who are really good embrace your ability to bring the best out of you. I directed an episode of another show, and there was another highly emotional moment, and the actor was not known for going there in that show. You know, it was a different technique for him, and I was able to just not give up. I mean, I work very fast as a director. You know, if the performance is really great on take one and it's in focus, I will generally move on. But, you know, in this instance, when I was directing him in this scene, he was struggling to get there, and I wouldn't let it go, and I would just work with him on parts of it, and I just wouldn't let him off the hook. And he got through to a place where his performance was just so heart-wrenching. You know, the entire crew applauded at the end of it. And then he came to me later. He said, "Thank you for not letting me off the hook. You know, thank you for just not giving up on me." And that's one of the most gratifying moments you have as a director working with an actor, because it goes beyond everything else. It goes just to the human core of what it is that we do. Well, that's it. This is Michael Goi. Thanks for tuning in, and go out and make incredible movies.